Welcome back to GCTV, welcome back to Rome, and welcome back to stage 14 of the Global Champions League. My name is Mark Lewis, this is GCTV, and if you are a Cannes Stars powered by the Iron Dames fan, you will not be happy to know, as things stand now, for the neutrals who'll be cheering to have this championship battle extend itself by one further stage. As it stands now, this championship fight will not be decided in Rome. It will indeed go to Rabat, but that's only based on how things stand now. This is a look at the virtual table. If things were to end right now as they are, with Cannes Stars on 8 and Riesenbeck on 4, we would see only a 27-point difference. That means still technically that Riesenbeck International could still win the championship in Rabat. But as we know, there are no drop scores. The 8 and 4 from round 1 will be carried into round 2. And if some late fences fall from either team, this could still dramatically change. Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, will be sitting in 3rd place. And it's the Prague Lions who take the advantage in this battle for 4th. The Doha Falcons have been disappointing. Falcons-Wart United have been disappointing. And even Madrid Emotion begin to try and knock on the door. But as it stands now, going into Rabat, if this were the table, it looks as if Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, have secured a top 4 finish and have secured a GC Super Cup semi-final spot. That is still to be decided in Riyadh. There is still Rabat to be worried about, and there is still a GC Rome stage 2, or round 2, to be worried about as well. There is a lot of jumping still to come, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot can still change. Let's show you what took place with the Cannes Stars. We mentioned that triple combination of global champions being so problematic. Sophie Hinners and Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann both having B down in that triple combination. Let's show you what took place today. The championship leaders finding some difficulty in that triple combination. This is Sophie Hinners on Iron Dames Sinclair. She was the first out for the team. Easily gets over the Liverpool. Makes her way towards the second half of the ring. Here we see the Liverpool. Now she turns into the global champions triple. She gets over A, but stumbles over B and collects 4 penalties before wrapping up her round. Still no panic stations, with only the score on 4, but Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann was to follow on Messi van der Ruytershof. 2 LGCT Grand Prix horses jumping a GCL first round. That is the intention, that is the intent that has been signaled by the Cannes Stars. But much like Sophie Hinners, Meyer-Zimmermann now gets over the Liverpool, prepares for the final line, gets into the Global Champions triple, gets over A and stumbles on B, just like her team member does. She eventually then finishes on 4 as well. The team moves to 8. And opening up the doorway for Riesenbeck International, who were still to come a little bit later on. That means that the door was open. But as it stood, Christian Kuckuck had that B down in the triple combination as well. He took Riesenbeck International to 4. But Philipp Weissau jumped clear, keeping them on 4, giving them 1 rail advantage. So as it stands now, Riesenbeck International in the driving seat. They take this fight to Rabat. Let's hear from Philipp Weissau.
Philip, you're still in the race. That's got to be a sigh of relief coming out of round 1.
Yeah, we did well. 4 faults after the first round. We're happy. We are somewhere there in the front. Unfortunately, the leading team, the Iron Dames, done well as well. So we have to see if we can come a bit closer to them or not. We're just trying to deliver 2 clear rounds and put as much pressure on them as we can.
Obviously, Christian had that 1 rail down in the combination. Did he talk to you after his round before you went in, or were you just focused, you knew what you had to do?
I mean, I know my horse, Kobe, so well. I've seen the course, I've seen Christian. I was already in the ring with him, so there was no time for discussion. The jump is the middle part of the triple combination. A lot of horses had that down, but this is a good jump for my horse. This is a strong part for him, jumping the verticals in the middle of a triple combination, so I knew that this wouldn't be a big issue for me. And so I managed it and it was good.
Is it going to be the normal Riesenbeck International tactic of no changes between round 1 and 2?
We do change. Christian is continuing with Mumbai, and I will bring Sinade for the second round. I don't think we will be much weaker with Sunday in the second round.
Definitely bringing out the big guns there. Okay, last question. Can you do it? Is the championship race going to go on to Rabat, or are you going to let Canstars win here?
It's really not in our hands. I think the only thing we can do is keep the pressure on, trying to deliver as many clear rounds, try to have as many podiums left in us, and of course also try to win today. But there has something major has to happen to them, which I don't obviously I would like to win, but I don't wish that something goes wrong for them. But there has to be something going really wrong, and now it's 3 more rounds, 6 more individual rounds until they have it. Everything can happen. We don't have a scratch result. So in those 6 rounds, if they do somehow clear or 4, we have no chance. If they have a major issue in one of the rounds, then we will be there.
Well, fingers crossed for round 2, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much.
So what's incredibly important to realize here is that whilst Riesenbeck International, as it stands, take this fight to Rabat, they do not give themselves a lot of leeway. They would ideally want a lot more room between where they find themselves now and where Canstars find themselves. If more fences fall in the second round, of course, that becomes more advantageous towards Riesenbeck. So they are going to Rabat as it stands, but Canstars still firmly in that championship driving seat. There will be huge disappointment for them if they don't win it here in Rome, but they are still in the driving seat. Riesenbeck International will hope for a perfect second round and to see more faults falling for the Canstars if they are to really give themselves an honest shot at that championship in Rabat in a couple of weeks' time. Prague Lions take control of the top 4 fights. Falcons Zwart United had plenty fences falling down. Doha Falcons had plenty fences falling down. Let's show you what took place with Angelica Augustin Zanotelli, and of course what took place for Madrid Emotion as well, who with a double clear look outstandingly good here in Rome. Let's go and show you what took place for Asna and Michael van der Vleuten, 2 very experienced men coming in for Madrid Emotion, and they took that lead thanks to a wonderful double clear for Madrid Emotion. Great to have Eduardo Alvarez Asnar back, by the way. It has been some time since we saw Asnar jumping here on our global champion stage, but now we welcome him back. Made van der Rotershoff first in for Madrid Emotion, knowing that Michael van der Vleuten and Beauville were to follow. Well, he knows that he's got plenty of experience, plenty of firepower in the tank with his teammates, and we see him successfully deal with that triple combination. Eduardo Alvarez Asnar staying on clear, opening things up for Michael van der Vleuten, who was to follow, as we said, on Beauville. Again, talk about signaling your intent, talking about putting in some senior horses. Michael van der Vleuten comes in with Beauville. He too gets over the Liverpool, gets into the Global Champions triple, has no trouble on A, B or C, keeps it clear. And Madrid in Motion return to Rome in sensational fashion, stay on double clear, and put themselves in a great position for Global Champions League round 2 to come in a couple of moments' time. Now, we spoke about that top 4 fight. Angelica Augustin Zanotelli for the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team. Doha Falcons on 12. Falcons Zwart United on 16. All of a sudden, Prague Lions on 4 penalties means that they are looking very good for that top 4 fight. Let's show you Angelica Augustin Zanotelli, who comes in for the team here in Rome and jumped superbly well. In fact, she was the first rider to open up. Fernando Martinez Soma on Lady van der Hartenhoven was the second to come through. Let's hear from Angelica Augustin Zanotelli.
Angelica, that was phenomenal. You must be absolutely delighted with the round.
Yeah, I'm very happy. It's a new horse for me, so I don't know her so well. It's our first time doing the team. And I already have a feeling that she goes in and she fights for me. And that's a special feeling. I'm very, very happy.
Such a special feeling. Did you ride it exactly how you walked it, or was there anything that you had to change last minute?
I changed one thing. It was to the brown vertical. I had in mind to do 7. But also there, as I don't know her super well, I had in mind to maybe do the 8 if I felt like that was the right thing. And when I arrived, that's what I did. I changed it to 8. And then the rest, I did a split.
Spot on then. And you're still in that fight for the top 4, which obviously it's the quarterfinal at the GCL Super Cup in Riyadh later this season. How much is that on your mind this weekend for the team with you and Fernando?
It's for sure in the back of our heads, but it's nothing I really put the focus on. I try to do my round as good as I can, and hopefully that results in a clear round. So I put my main focus on that.
Do you know the team plan yet for round 2?
I will ride Kalinka, and Fernando is riding Joop.
Well, good luck and fingers crossed for talking to you later.
Thank you very much.
An update from Angelica Augustin Zanotelli as to what Global Champions League Round 2 is going to look like from the Prague Lions. Another good round for them, and all of a sudden they are looking at a GCL Super Cup semi-final spot in Riyadh later on this year in November. They will be able to rest on the quarter-final night, watch it from VIP, and have their horses take the night off. That is the goal. That is the reward of finishing inside the top 4. We spoke a lot about the Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem equestrian team, over the last couple of weeks following that famous victory in the GCL a couple stages back. Here they once again come with Sasha Newgard-Lille, who we know was outstanding, along with Geraldine Straumann, and Hassan Senturk, newcomer to the team on Nico, had some difficulty. He had 16 penalties, 4 for Sasha Newgard-Lille, takes them to 20. We catch up with Sasha Newgard-Lille to get some thoughts on Istanbul's performance.
Not quite the team result you might have hoped for, but still a really solid individual round from yourself.
Thanks, yeah. Sure, not what we expected or hoped for, but my horse, he's 9 and he's just learning a lot with these rounds, and also Hassan, he's doing his first round for the team, so I think it's okay actually, yeah.
Definitely. And how did you ride that in there? Was it your game plan? Did you change anything? How was the course overall?
I think the course was good. I did everything as planned. He got a little bit unsure coming in the double. I think maybe just a little bit because of the colors and the long distance in. So, you know, he's, like I said, just 9, so he's allowed to have a mistake like this. The rest was good.
Yeah, of course he is. So have you discussed yet with the team what the plan is for round 2? Who's going to be riding what horses?
Yes, I am going to ride my mare Primavera, and then Andreas is riding Billy.
Perfect. So bringing out the big guns then. Fingers crossed, like London, you're on top of the podium.
Yeah, I think it's too late now, but we will fight our way back up. So.
Perfect. Well done, and we'll speak to you soon.
We remind you of FECA's ambition to us a couple of stages ago live in studio. He said they are still trying to tackle the top 5 finish. And as it stands now, the Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem equestrian team, still have some way to go if they're trying to turn things around in Rome and jump really well in Rabat to achieve that team goal set at the beginning of the season. Let's show you the results now as to how things end in Global Champions League Round 1, how that top 4 battle begins to shape up, how that championship fight begins to shape up. This is what it looks like now. Madrid in Motion, the only team on double clear. The Prague Lions, Riesenbach International and Rome Gladiators all find themselves on 4 penalties. And as it stands now, the fight for the title will go to Rabat, with Kunstars in 6th place. Remember what we spoke to you earlier on about the requirements, that if Riesenbach are 3rd or 4th, Kunstars can only afford to be 1 position behind them. Now, they are 3 positions behind them. That takes the fight to Rabat. But Riesenbach will like to see even more room opened up to try and make that Rabat challenge even more realistic. With the Doha Falcons on 12 and Falconswaard United even further down behind them on 16, it does give the Prague Lions in 2nd place a golden position. Opens the door for a top 4 finish at the end of the season. Falconswaard United, very unlikely, uncharacteristic from John Witziger on Shorid. 16 penalties for him, a clear for Marcus Eining, but it does leave the team then, as we say, quite far down the overall standings from Rome. Let's take a break. Let's catch our breath. Let's get some refreshments. Let's gather our thoughts and let's return for build-up to Global Champions League Round 2 live from Madrid. This is GCTV. Don't forget to get your GCTV live pass and join us for the action. Rome continues here on GCTV. We'll see you for Round 2 in a moment.
Triumph is never given, but earned. The road road to the top is packed with obstacles. Success is only achieved by those who can rise above challenges, the ones who can conquer their fears, the ones who are strong enough to continue, the ones who get back in the saddle after failure.
After all that drama, pain and surgery, it's absolutely amazing.
The ones who defy time, the ones who prove their worth.
It's magic at the age of 23.
Show real determination and find the right balance in life. We all face our own obstacles, but dedication and patience leads us to rise above these barriers. Perseverance makes the brilliant legendary.
We are back, and finally this year in 2024, the Global Champions League enters its 8th season.
It's a team championship over 15 stages, with riders of different nationalities competing on each team.
Every team has a team manager who selects a maximum of 6 riders for the season, and they must contain at least one under 25.
Halfway through the season, the transfer window allows the team's manager to change riders on their roster. This year, the transfer window opens after Paris and closes before stage 9 in Stockholm.
A maximum of 3 riders travel with each team to each stage, but only 2 of them can compete at the 2 rounds of GCL.
Between rounds, a manager can swap in a horse or change rider.
The penalties of both riders are added over the 2 rounds, meaning there's no drop score.
In case of a tie on points, the added times from round 2 will be the tiebreaker.
The team that wins the stage will add 30 championship points to its tally.
Teams are battling to finish in the top 4 in the championship, as that takes them straight to the semi-finals of the Global Champions Playoffs, this year held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
And the team with the most points at the end of the season will be crowned 2024 Global Champions League winners.
Deborah, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being here. You are the team owner of CanStars, powered by Iron Dames. But for those who don't know, what is Iron Dames?
Iron Dames is a project which was founded in 2018 to promote women active first in motorsport. And since this year, through the CanStars powered by Iron Dames in the equestrian world.
You were incredibly successful in the racing to start with. How did you make the move into show jumping? Did you know much about the GCL?
I knew a bit about the GCL, but first of all, it was an opportunity which came to enter the equestrian world, which is also a world where men and women compete at the same level on equal terms. And it's a very nice, on the more personal level, it's super nice because I have the opportunity to come back to my first passion, which was show jumping. I started competition when I was a child, a young teen. Then life is what it is. You evolve, you do many things, and the opportunity came. So I took it, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to be today in Cannes, which is the home round of the team, and to be with you and with the team here.
How did you go about putting the team together and finding the right riders to make sure that this team was successful?
What is important, what makes the Iron Dames what they are, is the family. It's a family atmosphere. We try to have the best person fitting the spirit of the Iron Dames, and our 6 senior riders: Kim, Sane, Yanne, Sophie. and Natalie really fit the Iron Dames family and match the Iron Dames attitude. It's all about the team, men and women who make this dream and this passion come true. Iron Dames is not one person, it's one group, one family.
That's such a lovely tagline as well. One group, one family. It's what dreams are made of as well. What are your realistic expectations going forward then? Like I said, the CanStars Powered by Iron Dames have been fantastic so far this season. We're around nearly halfway through. What are your realistic expectations for the rest of the season?
We won 2 rounds, Doha and Saint-Tropez. We were very consistent in the other rounds. This year is the first year for us. We'll be there. The goal is to be there for many years to come, and to do it and grow in a proper way. So being consistent, regular, achieving good performance in the best possible way.
In terms of success, then, getting to the end of this season, if I sat with you at the end, what does success look like to you for this season?
Smiles on the face, good results, a positive feeling, the feeling of belonging to a family, to a group which carries passion, which allow dreams to come true, all together as one.
Well, it really is women driven by dreams, but you are at the very heart of that, driving so many dreams for so many women and generations to come as well. And actually, I think it's about time I become an Iron Dame as well. Deborah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Crosses the finish line in the final round of jumping in Global Champions League.
And Riesenbeck International have won the Super Cup.
We had 2 unbelievable years in the past. We were first team ever winning both last year, the overall and the playoffs. So we knew that was special. We had also lucky moments and had the luck on our side. So I think we have had all our very great last year. Obviously this year will be tough to do what we did last year. Just the amount of wins we had last year and the way we won it was incredible. Things will not get easier in the next couple of months. The Olympic Games are coming up. Means there's also some shows we need to do for the team, for the German team. So it will not make it easier. Also last year we were not like things went always good at the show, but we had Lutke breaking his hip, me breaking my foot, Owen McMahon breaking his elbow, all in like less than 2 months. So it was not that things went perfectly smooth last year. But this year everything went wrong what could go wrong. But now I think it's time to make it up. But we need to be very consistent now for the rest of the season, and that's why we started here with the strongest possible horse-rider combinations we have. For sure on the paper we don't have to worry about somebody, and on the paper we are strong. We thought actually we were very strong in Shanghai and we ended up last, so I have to be always careful with that. What happened in Shanghai was obviously with our new under-25 rider, Harry Allen, who is really strong. He was unbelievable in Doha. We were like, wow, this guy is going to make us a lot of clear rounds this year. He just had a bad distance to jump before. The horse got scared, stopped. This is something what should not happen, but happens. This is how our sport is. Schulze Topov is in good form, Christian and myself. So I think we are okay, and we're not really looking for somebody. We really trust Harry Allen. He just had a bad show. He has an incredible horse. He's an incredible talented rider. And this is absolutely not Lutke's way of doing things, that he's changing riders just because they're not performing at the show as good as he was hoping. Madrid is one of my favorite shows. It's very big. It's all traditional ring. I really like to jump here. It's something very special. In the last 2 years, we didn't see so many clear rounds in the Grand Prix. With the horses we have here, we don't have to worry. We have all the horsepower and all the scope in them. The ring makes them perform very good. The horses, they feel it. It's a special show. I have Kobe and Sinade here. I have a very good feeling on him for this weekend. We know we can always trust him, and he has delivered tons of good results in the Global Tour. And I hope for him that he's in good shape if he's unbelievable. We are here to really make a big step forward and hoping it works out.
In the life of a rider, each jump is a journey, every heartbeat an opportunity, and competition is where the spectacle begins. Every victory, a celebration. Amidst the luxury and elegance, I found my home. I recall the highs and lows as if they were yesterday. But for every triumph, there's a battle fought. For every leap forward, a step back in time. The tension between competitors fuels the fire. It's a dance between skill and determination, culminating in podiums and triumphant celebrations. From city to city, we cross the globe in pursuit of glory, overcoming obstacles and embracing the challenge at every turn. Each rider is a testament to perseverance and dedication. Each competitor a source of inspiration and motivation. As I look back on the journey, I see the challenges, the triumphs, the moments that define us, each memory etched in the fabric of time, shaping us into who we are today. Together, we've written a story of courage and passion. And as we gaze towards the future, let us remember that the true essence of sport lies not in the outcome, but in the journey it inspires. Today begins a new story, and I want to live it with you here in the new season of the Longines Global Champions Tour and Global Champions League.
Don't miss out on the Global Champions 2024 season.
These are some of the hardest shows in the world.
Competing against top of the world.
Each team is required to have one under 25 rider.
If you're good enough, you make it, and if not, then it's a little difficult.
It's not like a car. When it's broken, you bring it to the garage and it's fixed.
It's my special horse.
Yeah, there it is.
He changed my life.
What a start from the championship.
It's overwhelming.
It's a dream come true for me to be here.
The score now rises.
I'm stressed.
You can be on top of the world the one week and then at the bottom of the pile the next week.
Oh, and it comes to a stop.
Jumping good as well.
They always say you're as good as your last round.
Show jumping is down to the finest details.
Not trying to be fifth, just trying to be first.
Look at that! Unbelievable!
That one will be hard to beat.
Some of these under 25 riders will be the champions of tomorrow.
This feeling is...
I'm here to win and not just take part.
Why will it be Prague Lions who finish inside the top four?
I think we have strong riders. It's a great team spirit.
I think we are a very, very good team. Simon and Mikey is in good form.
John's got his horse here, so it's fresh. My horse jumped good last week, and he's better when he's had a show up his sleeve. Marcus is here, so we've got 3 good riders. And, you know, we have to do a lot better than last week, though. So we're going to have to pull up a few good clear rounds, I think.
Fernando, who is the biggest threat to the Prague Lions for top 4?
Oh, that's a difficult answer.
I think it's us.
Both teams are strong. They both have experienced riders, so it's difficult to say. I would say both of them have the same chances.
Well, I always say we have to just focus on ourselves.
If we focus on stage 14, we are here in Rome this weekend. What's going to be the difference between these 3 teams that are so close?
I don't know, really. Look, it's quite hot here at the moment, which is probably going to suit my horse. I don't think I'll be doing the first round with my horse. We haven't talked about that tactics yet. So, and John's got a horse with plenty of blood, so I think the conditions might suit our horses.
Angelica has a mare with a lot of blood. I think that's going to help in this heat.
We are the friends team, so it's a good vibe.
There was a moment that I want to give up. I decided to train 2 times as hard and prove myself that I'm good enough.
Sana Tyson, coming soon.
Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is.
The hardest thing is to pull yourself together after a bad day and face the next competition.
Find out how you can keep moving forward with John Whittaker soon. Triumph is never given, but earned. The road to the top is packed with obstacles. Success is only achieved by those who can rise above challenges, the ones who can conquer their fears, the ones who are strong enough to continue, the ones who get back in the saddle after failure.
After all that drama, pain and surgery, it's absolutely amazing.
The ones who defy time, the ones who prove their worth.
It's magic at the age of 23.
Show real determination and find the right balance in life. We all face our own obstacles, but dedication and patience leads us to rise above these barriers. Perseverance makes the brilliant legendary.
Welcome back to Rome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to GCTV and welcome back to GCL Round 2. This is going to be a fascinating afternoon. My name is Mark Lewis. Thank you for taking time out to join us in this action, to join us in this very exciting battle between so many different players, so many different moving parts, so many different storylines. And every single one of those storylines involve those riders inside this course walk that are busy measuring what to do in Global Champions League Round 2. I don't even know where to begin. Do we begin by telling you that as it stands, Razorback International take the championship fight through to Rabat? Do we begin with the fences that fell for the Kunstars powered by the Iron Dames? Do we begin with the sensational opening round from the Prague Lions that see them take control of the top 4 fight? Do we begin with the disappointing performances of the Doha Falcons and Falconswaard United? So many talking points to come out of just the opening round that it feels as if there is a lot that we have to try and unpack in a very short space of time. Lida, remind you that there has been only a single double clear. And does that just so happen to coincide with the return of Eduardo Alvarez Aznar to Madrid in motion? Aznar and Michael van der Vleuten delivering the only double clear of the afternoon thus far to put them in a stage-winning position. We have not seen enough of that from Madrid in motion this season, that is for sure. The big question now is, what does the start list look like for GCL Round 2? What have the managers done between the close of GCL Round 1 now to the build-up of GCL Round 2? What phone calls have been made? What messages have been made? What conversations have been had in the stables here at Cerco Massimo to try and make the most of GCL Round 2? This is what the start list looks like. The yellow signaling changes. So, surprise, surprise, there is a change across the board in every single team, including Razorback International, who make a horse change. Philip Weishaupt moves from Kobe to Zinedine. Mexico Amigos will be the first team to come out the gate after that disappointing 20. Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem Equestrian Team on 20 as well. The Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, Julien Epayard and Antoine Herman, all of a sudden looking to try and get into the fight again, into that conversation. So, how then does it shape up for GCL Round 2? It becomes fascinating with Razorback quite late to go. Kunstars would have already jumped. Kunstars would have already jumped by the time Razorback go into the ring, so they will know what it looks like. If there is a double clear from Sophie Hinnes, who stays on the team with My Prince, and this time Katrin Eckermann and Kalamandia, Iron Dames Kalamandia, come into Round 2. Do they deliver a double clear and put the pressure back on the Razorback International? Remember, if Kunstars finish ahead of Razorback in any way, the championship is won here in Rome. There is a single fence separating the two teams. So these next 4 rounds from Sophie Hinnes, Katrin Eckermann, Christian Kuckuck and Philip Weishaupt become absolutely crucial. Ed Holloway standing by for us inside the ring. He gave us some wonderful reaction as to what to expect in GCL Round 1. That triple combination at Global Champions proved to be as dangerous as he mentioned, with so many fences falling, in particular in that B section. Ed Holloway, let's talk about Round 2. What has Uliana Vizzani put together here today for that second round?
Thank you, Mark. Yes, it's a fearsome second round, I think. It's a long track at 465 metres. The overall course is difficult. We're going to have a little look at every point because there's no relent. Fence 1 is very tall. It's 155 tall. The is right by the in-gate, so distraction will be at a premium. They then spin back to another very big 155 tall vertical. Longines at the second. Fence 3 is really demanding. It is the global champion Doxa. It's skinny, 150 by 155. It's very, very wide, and it's really imposing. I think fence 3 already causes problems. They then come down to the first double combination. The Roman vase is for A and B, one stride in between there, but it's a very big Oxa in, one stride out over a 155 to a vertical. Then down to the Longines Oxa, which again is substantial, 150 by 160. This line, though, I think is going to be a really, again, pivotal line. Fence 6 is the Colosseum, 150 by 160. We saw the treble at the end of the course in the first round. Now it is mid-course. It is 7A, B and C, 2 verticals leading in at 1.55 apiece. Not easy. We'll go and have a quick look at that for you a bit closer, because this again, it comes in the middle of the course now, not at the end, but I think this again will be influential. It's packed up on the crowd side here. Again, distraction is a big factor. This fence very big going in. Again, they're going to land about here. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Quite a forward one stride again to a 1.55 to a vertical. It walks 8 meters 40. I think it's forward, and I think again, like in the first round, will be influential. Then again, they'll land over this tall vertical about here. And again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of my strides to 1 horse stride, but again 150 by 160 out is very demanding. But they continue because left-handed to the blue marble. It's a plank now, 160 tall, end of the course. It's so delicate after power here, delicacy here. They then turn down to Lugano at 9, 150 by 160, and still home. They turn right-handed, and it's a massive final line. Bocca della Verita, they'll go by the in-gate. That's 155 tall, over water again. Then down to another huge oxer. The coins at 11 is 1 by 160. And then this is the final fence. It's the Aqueduct vertical. It is 160 tall, the last fence on the course. And I think it's a monster last fence. I'll quickly ask Marlon Modolo Zanotelli for his impression on the course. Marlon, can I quickly ask a quick impression of the track?
Looks a fantastic course again. Very well put the questions here. Looks delicate, especially the line to the triple combination here on the wall. But we see it. We see how it looks on the ride.
Thanks, Marlon. That's your course, so thank you very much. So yes, in essence, as Marlon's wrapped it up, a lot of jumping. The second round of Global Champions League, I think, is going to be a cliffhanger. Mark, it's going to be a fascinating hour or so remaining. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Ed Holloway, thank you very much. I'm hearing a lot of adjectives talk to me about how big this is, about how challenging this is going to be for the riders, and we expect nothing less on a championship deciding day from Uliana Vizzani. He is well aware of the crowd, he is well aware of the riders in attendance, and he's well aware of that championship hanging in the balance, and that is why he has tried to put together today what we see here in Global Champions League Round 2 and what lies in wait for these riders. I remind you of Kunstars coming home on 8 penalties in the opening round. Razorback International ahead of them on 4 penalties. As it stands, because of teams wedged in between them, the championship cannot be won here today in Rome. It will go down to Rabat. And there is a second round of jumping still to come, and that may well change a lot of that storytelling by the end of the night. What if we were to press pause right now? What if, from a championship perspective, we were to take the round 1 scores and press, not even pause, in fact, press the stop button and just stop the show right now? How would things look going into Rabat in a couple of weeks' time? This is what it would then look like. Kunstars, despite not winning it here, would still be in a very comfortable position to go on and take the title. They would still be 27 points clear of Razorback International, powered by Kingsland Equestrian. The Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, despite the disappointing round 1, will still be in 3rd place. But take a look at the jump from Prague Lions, who now move above Falconswart, move above Doha Falcons, and now take hold of that top 4 position. So as it stands, Kunstars still lead the championship. Razorback eat into that lead, but it still leaves them a really big job to do in Rabat. Some might say a virtually impossible job, but they will take the fight to Rabat. Let's talk about Prague Lions. That sensational round 1 performance, moving inside the top 4. I wonder what the thoughts, what the reactions are of the team of the Prague Lions. Floss Bish-Jones standing by once again, this time with Fernando Martinez Soma. Floss, let's get some thoughts from FMS after that performance.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. It really is getting so exciting here in Rome, and with Doha and Stockholm not having the best round 1, it's really opened the door for the Prague Lions. And here we have Fernando, who's going to talk us through just how important it is for you to get into that top 4 and skip that quarter-final at the GCL Super Cup.
Yeah, it's actually very important.
We've got the famous Ileana here.
It's a lot of jumping in the final, so and very big rounds. So it's for the horses and the team is good to avoid one of the rounds.
Definitely, and you've only got the two of you here. It was the same in Mexico and you went on to win it. Can you convert this and make it a win today to be able to really jump forward and end up in that top 4?
I mean, we stay positive, you know, you never know. Our horses are feeling good, so we're going to just give it all and try to be on the podium.
You're pulling out the big guns for round 2. Who are you both riding?
Angelica is riding Kalinka, her good mare, and I'm riding Jup. He jumped the first Grand Prix last week in Valkenswaard, but he's feeling very good, so I had high expectations.
If all goes to plan today and you manage to secure some really solid points, jump into the top 4, how much does that ease the pressure for Rabat going into that final leg of the season?
I think, like I said, it's many rounds in the final, so it's tough jumping. So if we can avoid one of the rounds and stay in those top 4, these will be very valuable points to be a little bit more safe.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that insight. Good luck, and hopefully we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Perfect. So thanks, Mark. That was really insightful from Fernando there. Let's see how the Prague Lions can do in round 2.
Absolutely, Floss Jones, thank you very much. Some reaction from the Prague Lions. Might see if we can go back into the ring to get more from Floss, some more rider reaction ahead of GCL round 2. Angelica Augustin Zanotelli, as FMS describes to us, goes through to Kalinka. She changes from Dessa into Kalinka, we expect that. And then Jup, as FMS said, who he was very happy with after that LGCT Grand Prix in Valkenswaard last week, now goes on to give Jup an opportunity in Global Champions League round 2. They have the advantage, they have the fences on their side. The big question now is, what is Doha Falcons going to do behind the Prague Lions? What are Valkenswaard United going to do behind the Prague Lions? Edwina Tops-Alexander comes in on fellow Castlefield. Very strong, very predictable move. And John Whittaker, after those big penalties, 16 on Charid in round 1, now predictably goes back to Unique du Frampont. We would imagine that from John Whittaker every single day of the week. And from the Doha Falcons, Julien Arqueta makes a horse change. He moves over to Blood Diamond, and Simon Delestre stays on the always impressive Dexter Fontenay. Those are the conversations between the Global Champions League top 4 fighters. A championship perhaps is out of reach. Well, in fact, we know it's officially out of reach, but a stage win is firmly in their grasp for Madrid in Motion. We mentioned the wonderful return of Eduardo Alvarez Asna and Michael van der Vleuten, who, after that double clear, will be the last team to go. They are in pole position. El Wiki and Rockefeller come in for round 2. Floss, let's go back to you. Let's try to get some reaction. I think it's with Michael van der Vleuten. Floss, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. It is looking big out here, but we've got Michael, who's in pole position here, to talk us through. How tough do you think this is going to be?
I just walked the course, and it seems to be like a nice, fair course. There are, especially on the end of the course, a few tall verticals. The second last ox is big enough, but with a nice stride actually to it. But yeah, as we saw in the first round, it was also not too crazy, but actually many faults, only one team on clear. So I'm curious how this class gonna go.
I'm quite intrigued about fence number 12 here, with them jumping in towards the big screen. How does that affect the horses?
Well, it's definitely an issue, and for some horses it's more a problem than the other ones. The ones with more experience don't care too much about it. He puts on the left side a water in front, on the right side behind. I mean, little things, if a horse is more experienced, they don't care too much about it, but it's definitely something that can infect the fence, yeah.
Okay. And then just really quickly, I want to talk about this shadow here. You can see the line from the arena, from the VIP. Does this shadow affect the horses at that down there, or will they not really have to think about this line on the floor here?
No, that definitely can be a problem. And how further we get in the class, the shadow will change. So during the class, some fences are getting maybe in the beginning in the sun, the second half in the shadow. So you will get some different situations for the horses, and it's always interesting to see how the horses are reacting on these kind of things.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your insight, Michael. Good luck, and we'll see you later.
Yep.
Mark, the bell's gone here in the arena, so the class is going to be well underway soon. So handing back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Floss Fish-Jones. What a very, very wise comment being made there about the shadows. And as you can see, perhaps behind me, based on that VIP stand over there, the later it gets in the afternoon, the deeper the sun goes down over that side of the arena, that side of Circo Massimo, the greater, the larger, the wider that shadow is going to become. And Michael van der Vleuten makes the point of the later you're going to go, the more impactful that shadow may well be. Well, if you have just joined us, they will be the last team to go. Madrid Emotion, only team on double clear, will be last to go, which means that, however, that shadow grows and develops and can perhaps create somewhat of some confusing shadows that may well spook the horses in those lines. It does mean that those teams coming towards the back end, Razorback International, powered by Kingston Equestrian, fighting, holding on to their championship reign. Prague Lions, powered by the Czech Equestrian team, fighting to get into the top 4. And Madrid in Motion, fighting for a rare stage win here in 2024. All may have to deal with those encroaching shadows towards the end of the afternoon here in Rome as we get ready for Global Champions League round 2. But of course, the eyes are going to be on Canstars, powered by the Iron Dames. Sophie Hinners on 4. Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann on 4. Now the rider change. We see Katrin Eckermann and the fantastic Kalamandia coming in for round 2. If they jump clear and get in front of Razorback International in any way, the championship is done, and it'll be a massive Canstars celebration long into the Rome night. However, if fences fall and Razorback International stay clear, well then, we are going to Rabat, ladies and gentlemen. So, stay with us here for a very warm afternoon in Rome. We are getting ready for Global Champions League round 2. Top 4 fight, championship battle, all on the line. Get your GCTV live pass. Stay with us here live in Rome and come and join us for all of the action from Global Champions League round 2.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Delighted to have your company for round 2 of the Global Champions League here in Rome, the penultimate leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour for this year 2024. The first round, an epic battle between the titans of world team show jumping. And our spectators here set fair for what it will be a wonderful second round to see who claims the penultimate leg of the season. Top 4 places as well in the season standings after Rabat in Morocco, the final leg, to determine which 4 teams will be given a bye from the quarter-final in Riyadh at the finals, straight to the semi-finals. The top 4 teams after Riyadh, the final leg, will be granted. A lot at stake this afternoon. Welcome back to round 2 of the Global Champions League here in the Italian capital alongside Circus Maximus. Milano Venzani has set a fascinating course once again. That is the man at the helm of the team here. He used to ride as a show jumper for none other than Pavarotti, and 465 meters. His long second round track, 75 seconds. The length of Milano's course here, alongside the famous Circus Maximus that's seen great sport over millennia. But big sport certainly it will see once again on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. Welcome to Rome. "17 individuals to come." That man very much part of Valkenswaard United, the legendary John Whittaker. And customary round from him in the first round. That is Martinez Fernandez Sommer, the Mexican. Sophie Hinners for Canstars, analysing the lines, and that man brilliantly around for Madrid in Motion. Along with this man, Michael van der Vleuten, to lead after the first round. The first time that Madrid in Motion have ever had a double clear to lead the way after round one. Simon de Lestre, Francesco Tuttoriello having a discussion with Christian Alman. And Angelica Augustin-Zanotelli analyses the lines around Ileana Vezzani's second round course this afternoon. Our VIPs here having a very, very good day of sport. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the starting order. We have 17 individuals to get us underway. This second round will determine qualification for tomorrow's Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann has won Grand Prix with that horse on the Global Champions Tour. Messi van der Ruytershoff. Victor Beddendorf has got a 9-year-old Foxy de la Roque start at 16. And Michael Pender was the youngest ever winner of the Hickstead Derby at 19 years of age. Now the teams, Zarvin Graukova and Jo Vreeling for the Scandinavian Vikings. Gregory Cotard and Edouard Levy. They will come, of course, in succession. A lot of our teams making changes. Riesenbeck International still try and continue the season's battle. Zinedine is substituted in for Philip Weishaupt, his Olympic ride. Christian Cook stays aboard Mumbai. And both the Madrid in Motion horses are substituted. The brilliant 19-year-old Rockefeller de Pleville-Bois-Margot comes in for Eduardo Aznar. And Michael van der Vleuten substitutes his Olympic medal-winning Beauvais Z NOP for Elvika. So the leaders after round one both have different horses for the second round.
Some wonderful sights on the big screen there.
It looks to be a fascinating second round course from Ileana Vezzani. Builds with such ease, such grace, but it's a powerful test, I think, from Ileana to test the best in this penultimate leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour 2024 season here in Rome. We get underway with round two, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have your company wherever you're tuned in from worldwide to GCTV. 17 internationals to come before a break prior to the team competition starting after these first 17 individuals. The prize purse this afternoon, €105,500. And Emanuela Gaudiano will lead us into battle this afternoon. 38 years of age, Southern Italian. He left his native Matera at 15, a young exit from the home nest to move to Modena and then up to the north of Italy to Milan. Double Olympian, Tokyo with Chalu, his big chestnut, and Casper in Rio. And this afternoon, he saddles Nikolai de Music. This the pair that was 7th in the Grand Prix on the Longines Global Champions Tour in Monte Carlo back in the summer, or earlier in the summer. And Emanuela is world number 26. He'll take us round Ileana Vezzani's second round course. Two very big verticals to start them up, but this is a fearsomely big ox. I think will be influential. It's narrow, but it's wide at 155 in width. That is the global champions ox. This the first of the two combinations. The Roman Vase is double, 2 strides down between there and then the Longines Oxer at 5 strides down the middle of the diagonal. This is the mid-course test of the teeth of Ileana Vezzani's wind is the middle of the track. And Nikolai de Music, sadly, just can't reach for the back bar. It's a long 1-stride exiting that combination. Then down to the huge Lugano Oxer at 9 that is into the face of the Imgate to ramp up his difficulty. This is the final line. There's a lot of jumping here on the home stretch. The Coins Oxer 150 by 160, the penultimate, and this is the monster. Aqueduct vertical at 160 to bring Emanuela Gaudiano, our trailblazer, home. Good round, 63.9 seconds. Just the one error out of the treble combination, and 7C for the double Olympian for the home nation. 63.9 seconds. So well inside the 75-second time allowed for the second round here Longines Global Champions Tour of Rome, the penultimate leg of the season.
They were top 10 in the big Grand Prix in London. They were placed in GCL round 2 there as well. This is 9-year-old by the great Zorocco Blue. Zodiac, de Buisson-Zed. In silence, Richard Howley.
The second to jump, Richard Howley on course, 32 years of age, shortlisted for the Paris Olympics. From Sligo, County Sligo, west coast of Ireland initially. Left at 17 years of age to work for Michael Whittaker. Former winner of the World Young Horse Breeding Championships in Lanarken. But in fact, the horse that had winner tops Alexander right here in Rome, upper called Cappuccino in 2018. Sadly, early mistake again for Richard Howley. GCT wins for Richard this season in Cannes and, well, at Cannes and Monte Carlo. And this horse was 7th in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in London. Last outing in August of this season. And there's a massive plank. Comes after the horse has been twisting a gut to get down through the treble. So real transfer from power effort to the treble to a delicate, very tall plank. 160. Richard Howley down to the penultimate with Zodiac de Buisson-Zed. He's had another rail on his course, sadly. So it's a couple of fences down in this beefed up track for round 2 of the Global Champions League. It must be tougher, surely. 8 penalty, 71-38, just inside time. But a disappointing 8 penalties for Zodiac de Buisson-Zed and Richard Howley.
Alberto Zorzi, uno dei grandi nomi del saltostacoli azzurro. Lo scorso anno in sella a questo cavallo ha composto la squadra italiana in campo per il campionato d'Europa di Milano. Campionato d'Europa che, pensate, nel 2017 per un niente non lo ha visto vincitore della medaglia d'oro.
2 coming for Italy at the very start of round 2 of the Global Champions League here in Rome, and Alberto Zorzi is away. The tall, elegant rider, studied mechanics at university. Twice winner of the prestigious Olympia Grand Prix in London 2017 and 18 with Kotanga. 4th individually in the Europeans in Gothenburg 2017 behind Peder Fredriksson. LIW for Alberto takes, I'm afraid, the back bar of the Longines Oxa. 160 wide at 5. This pair recently at Hickstead for the Royal International. Second weekend in July. I'm a great admirer of Alberto Zorzi's riding. He is elegant, great hands, beautiful balance in the saddle. Just seems the complete horseman to my eye. Turns now down to the final line with just the error. Back bar at 5 for Highlight W, and Alberto Zorzi, I'm afraid, is a second Oxa. This course, I think, will take some toll. And still, Cannes Stars have got some hope of finishing ahead of Riesenbeck International to win the season. I think only 4 penalties separating Cannes Stars and Riesenbeck International into this second round. But it is 2 down, 8 penalties for Alberto Zorzi and Highlight W. This time 71.8 seconds. Manuela Gaudiano was a good 8 seconds quicker than either Richard Howley or Alberto Zorzi.
Previous winner of that big Grand Prix in Mexico before now, the man who's part of the gold medal winning team as well in Rio back in 2016. Here, without Dylan, Roderick Boss, France.
This man was honoured by the French president, Jacques Chirac, at the Élysée Palace in Paris following the world title. Bosti was part of the winning team for France in Stockholm in Sweden. And Roger, one of, again, the great champions. We have several here. Marcus Enning, John Whittaker, and Roger Bost. Bost, the European champion. Individually in hand in 2013. The style all of his own, but he's a unique, remarkable talent that will never be copied. After Danad, HDC was third in the Saint-Tropez Gassin Grand Prix, March of this year. Dusty typically, arms and legs all going at different angles, works magic down through the treble. He is still clear. Now entering the final line for home for our first clear round, potentially for the charismatic Frenchman Roger Bost and Delta Danat. HDC, the last fence for Roger Bost for the first clear of round 2 of the Global Champions League here in Rome. And there it is, 70.46. This second round also acting as the qualifying round for tomorrow's Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix, with the best 40 combinations of the second round qualifying for the Grand Prix tomorrow. First clear round to Roger Bost and Delta Denat, HDC.
Per la Svizzera, la volta di Jane Richard, insieme a Molly Zed.
On to Switzerland now, but this lady based here in Italy. She was 7th in the Grand Prix of Monaco with this ride. Molly Malone, Jane Richard, Switzerland.
Jane Richard e Molly Malone hanno ottenuto quest'anno l'ottimo risultato nel Gran Premio Longines Champions Tour a Monte Carlo.
Now the first for Switzerland this afternoon, Jane Richard. We welcome Molly Malone Z on course. 12-year-old daughter of Milo Carthago, cross to Cassini the second, owned by Isabel Richard. This pair, a great Longines Global Champions Tour season. They were 7th in the Grand Prix at Monte Carlo in early July. Jane Richard, Longines Ambassador of Elegance in yesteryear, maybe still currently, certainly brand ambassador for our title sponsors here, either formerly or currently. Makes a great start. Turns back into this very chunky mid-course section. Global Champions League treble. Beautifully down through there. Metronomic in rhythm. Jane Richard to the tall plank it goes, sadly. First blemish mid-course at 8 at 160. It's a monster. It's unrelenting from Ileana Vetsani. Horse having twisted and stretched every sinew of his body or her body to get through the treble. Then another huge jumping effort that is also delicate. Straight hot on its heels. Jane Richard jumps a very good round with Molly Malone Z. It's a strong round, but that man's course just takes a little chunk out of the Swiss combination. 4 penalties for Jane Richard. 72.33 was her time. She goes third as we stand with just the one clear, having jumped 5 combinations.
Compone la squadra Can Star, l'abbiamo vista nella prima manche, evidentemente non affronterà la seconda o lo farà con un cavallo diverso. Il nono vincitore del Gran Premio del Longines Global Champions Tour quest'anno a Cannes.
Now to the Grand Prix winning partnership from Cannes this year, the partnership as well that then went on to finish 4th in that big Grand Prix.
The Cannes Stars have won 6 legs of the Global Champions Tour. Longines centrepiece this year. This lady's been an absolute backbone of vertebrae of Cannes Stars. The challenge to win here in Rome. It's fallen a little bit sour, but still not impossible. Not a part of the team today, but Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann. We welcome London Olympian Celadon Lambrasco in Greenwich Park in 2012. European and World Team Champion 2011, 2010. And this, her powerhouse, the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix winner, won the Cannes leg. This year, Messi van der Ruytershof is on the course. 12-year-old son of Plot Blue, Marcus Ennings, former German team Ride for Pleasure. The dam sire owned by Jürgen Fitschen. Messi zips down through the treble. Effortless power. It's got scope to burn this Very tall 12-year-old gelding as he launches airborne out over the Lugano water tray at 9. Messi van der Ruytershoff for the second clear of the second round of the Global Champions League here, penultimate leg of the season in Rome. Down to the last fence will be quicker than Roger Bost. Best part of 2 seconds ahead of Bosti. CanStar's team applaud Jana Fredrika Meyer-Zimmermann. It's the second clear of the second round of the Global Champions League here in the Italian capital. Well done to Messi van der Ruytershoff. Great second clear round of the afternoon.
Per il Belgio ora la volta di Pandora Boys.
On now, the lady from Belgium that was the top 6 in her ride a little earlier today in the round number 1. But she's back today in this, the Grand Prix qualifier with Pandora Z. Selena Schimbu to Azevedo, Belgium.
Celine Schoenbrugge to Azevedo for Belgium. Well, number 217 is our 7th out of the start gate. Powerful start for this lady. Pandora Boy Z is her big jumping grey gelding. This combination again jumped at Hickstead in the summer. Several Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix as well. Madrid, Paris. Jumps in the team in Valkenswaard, but I'm afraid Pandora Boy Z falters into the combination. Global Champions League vertical. Entering the treble is the first scalp for this massive jumping. Son of Presley Boy, crossed to Latano. Owned by Luc Hay, bred by Luc Hay as well. And Celine Schoenbrugge to Azevedo, I'm afraid, fence down on the home run as well. It is going to be 2 fences down, 8 penalties for her, 73.6 seconds. And 8 penalties on the card for the Belgian. Celine Schoenbrugge to Azevedo has 8 penalties.
Is building nicely. Belgium, Celine Schimbu to Azevedo.
Ed ora in sella Chappos Girl Star. Per l'Italia, Emanuele Camilli. Emanuele Camilli per l'Italia, in gara ai competizioni di Parigi. Quest'estate il 6 agosto ha raggiunto la finale individuale, un'ottima.
The third for the home nation, Italy, in round 2 of the Global Champions League on home sand here in the Italian capital, Rome. Emanuele Camilli, returning Olympian. 21st he was with Odense Oderveld. Not his ride this afternoon. He saddles Chaco's Girl Star. This horse was the former rider Peter Schuhai, the Hungarian, rode this superb mare at Milan in the Europeans late last season. Well, number 52, Emanuele Camilli, gets started. Down through the first combination. And then 5 strides crops up very nicely down to the Longines. This pair jumps in the Falsterbo Nations Cup presented by Ågria mid-July in southern Sweden. Emanuele Camilli makes light work of the Global Champions League treble. Breezes through the middle. This pair winners of the Grand Prix at Centaur Park. 3-star Grand Prix back in early May as well. 2 clear rounds at the moment after the first 7. Chaco's Girl Star. New star for Emanuele Camilli, gets very deep to the penultimate, but somehow can get up and over the front bar to complete the third clear round of the afternoon, and the quickest time by a clear 2 seconds. Third clear of the second round of the Global Champions League here in Rome. 66.59, very, very fast. And there, a new combination. Third clear round for the home nation. It's a home delight here at Circus Maximus. What a good round for Emanuele Camilli.
Gara risultato importantissimo per Emanuele Camilli in previsione del qualifica per il Gran Premio di domani. Intanto però abbiamo notato che i colori del Brasile, Marlon Zanotelli, Sella Zaizento.
This is the position, the 3 clear rounds, 1 for Italy, 1 for Germany, and Roger Ripos for France. We have jumped 8 combinations and just the 3 clear rounds. But now we welcome Tokyo Olympian, Pan-American double gold medal winner in 2019. He's having a great couple of days here, because with this horse, Zaizento won the 5-star world ranking class, the second 5-star class yesterday. He hails from Fortaleza on the Brazilian coastline. Both his grandfather Darcy and father Mario were jockeys themselves, but I'm afraid I thought it had to cause problems at some point, and the global champions Oxa France 3 claims, I'm afraid, Malamodolo Zanotelli. 2 years ago, won the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Paris with Like a Diamond, Van Het Schak, and has had brilliant Grand Prix form here in Rome. 2 years ago, 3rd, again with Like a Diamond, and in 2019 was 2nd in the Grand Prix here with his wonderful VDL Edgar M. Describes this gelding as highly sensitive, intelligent, just the kind of horse that Malamodolo Zanotelli likes to saddle. But I'm afraid Zaizento just stepping up to the highest level of world show jumping, so just showing his inexperience this afternoon after his super win yesterday. It is 12 for the Pan-American double gold medal winner formerly, and a slightly pained Malamodolo Zanotelli head scratching on his exit. 69.06 his time, but 12 penalties on the card.
Ed ora in campo Sella D'Antano per l'Italia, Piergiorgio Bucci. Piergiorgio Bucci, 2 volte campione d'Italia, cavaliere che ha vinto Gran Premi internazionali del Longines Global Champions Tour, Coppa delle Nazioni, medaglie nei campionati internazionali. Antano è un cavallo che sta crescendo a livello internazionale sotto la sella di Piergiorgio Bucci, 12 anni.
Italy delighted with the home clear from Emanuele Camilli, 66.59, still the quickest time of the second round of the Global Champions League. But now we welcome one of the big hitters for Italian show jumping. Piergiorgio Bucci was born in L'Aquila in central Italy, not too far from Rome, where he started his riding. He now runs Bucci in Budel in the Netherlands, has been there since 2010. Antano new ride as of May of last season, produced by the very good Dutch jockey Louis Joppen. Antano, 12 years of age, son of Quasimodo Z, crossed to numero uno for Piergiorgio Bucci. Down through 4A and B. 5 strides comes up. Fairly tight, actually. Antano covers a lot of sand per counter stride. Piergiorgio Bucci, 6 strides down into the Global Champions League treble, emerges clear. Potentially here, clear round number 4, and the second for Italy on the card. It gets a little bit awkward down the line between the plank at 8 and Lugano at 9, but Piergiorgio Bucci, came up with the answers until the Bocca della Verita vertical goes at 10, just losing a little bit of rhythm and balance as a pair down the line, and then that turn, it's quite a tight turn back to 10, is the late mistake, sadly. Good round, but 4 penalties for Piergiorgio Bucci and Antano, his time 65.86.
Per l'Irlanda, Michael Penner in sella a Los Angeles.
The 10-year-old now that is Los Angeles are very next to the man who started off the year with some brilliant results out at the Al Shira Horse Show in Abu Dhabi. Here with the right of Los Angeles, he is from Ireland, Mikey Pender.
Global stars coming one after another. You would expect nothing less on the Longines Global Champions Tour here in Rome. Mikey Pender, we welcome, 24 years of age still. Young gun from Castle Dermot, County Kildare initially. has ridden for a good long while now for the Athens Olympian Marion Hughes at the Hughes Horse Stud, hence the HHS prefix of Mikey's rides. Graduates of the Young Rider Academy, but brilliant to win the Boomerang Trophy. Won the Hickstead Derby in 2019. First attempt, it was the first time a debutant had won at Hickstead since Michael Whitaker and Monsanto back 40 years prior. This man won his very first 5-star Grand Prix, Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Valkenswaard, HHS Calais 2 years ago. HHS Los Angeles, daughter of Leroy, across the Cavalier Royale is on the course. Mid part of the treble goes again. It caused havoc in the first round, claiming both of Can Star's representatives and also the Olympic champion Christian Kukuk. This pair's last outing was to Dublin, 7th in the Grand Prix there and 2nd in the Sport Island Classic over on home turf in Ireland. Mikey Pender just the mid part of the treble, I think, will still cause influence. It came, of course, at the end of the track in the first round, now in the middle part of the course, so fatigue not quite such a factor as it was in the opening round, but still I think will be highly influential. One down in that line for penalties. 69.26 was the time for Mikey Pender and HHS Los Angeles. Out on Uliano Vezzani's massive Global Champions League round 2 course. That was the error.
Yes, you can give him a cheer. The man committed the new ride for him this year in February, though, but we've seen them placing in the ranking classes in Arezzo, riding at D-Mark 2, Arnaldo Balloni, Italy.
This man is very experienced. He was an Atlanta Olympian back in '96 with Eileen. He rode at the 3 World Equestrian Games, Stockholm, The Hague in 1990, 1994, and then here in Rome in '98. Arnaldo Balloni is on course with his Cervia 3-star Grand Prix winner. Recently, D-Mark is on the course, number 12 of the 2nd Global Champions League competition. Dollar du Murier crossed to Cordobes, the 2nd out of the Hanoverian stud book, owned by Thomas Fuchs. He sees a big distance down into the first combination in over the ox. There was a big takeoff point into the Roman Vases ox. Little rattle out over Longines ox. Fence 5, but all is intact. Crowd sighs again. The mid part of the treble causes another error. Okay, Giorgio Bucci earlier with the 1 down, and now Arnaldo Balloni again with 1 error. Emanuele Camilli carrying home hopes with the super clear round. These are individuals, and all of them looking for qualification essentially for tomorrow's Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Rome. Arnaldo Balloni gets some home sighs, oohs and ahs from our crowd as he crosses the line. It is the 4 penalties and 7B. His Cervia Grand Prix winner, big pat for D-Mark the 2nd. 4 penalties at a time of 72.01 for Arnaldo Balloni, the seasoned Atlanta Olympian.
What a huge part that man has been of the Italian setup of world show jumping for many years now. Just the middle part of the combination down there. So far it is 72.01 to the Italian legend Arnaldo Balloni.
Per la Turchia, Hasan Şentürk, Selman Mikro.
You ride for this man in July. It is only their first 5-star show together here at the Longines Global Champions Tour off the road. Riding Eco, Hasan Center.
The new starter. This man started the first round of the team competition this afternoon. Sadly had 4 fences down, so was excluded from the second round, I'm afraid. But on course, Hasan Şentürk is our new starter. This is Nico jumping. His ride from the first round for Istanbul Warriors, along with Sasha Nygaard Lille. Andreas Sko will come into Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem, for the second round. Nico, brand new ride as of July this year. Their second global champion start after Valkenswaard. 2 down, I'm afraid, early. Hasan Şentürk, mid-season transfer as Sasha Nygaard Lille for Istanbul Warriors, comes down the final line. 12 penalties, I'm afraid, on his card, and another error at the penultimate. It's going to be 16 for the pair for Turkey. 76.87 their time. So we'll also add a little clutch of time penalties to their score. 18 it is for Hasan Şentürk. 16 jumping and 2 for time for 18 in the second round of the Global Champions League here. What a brilliant backdrop it is to the stadium here, alongside Circus Maximus in the Italian capital. 18 for Hasan Şentürk.
Watch this man ride. That lower leg never moves. He is one of the best, and he this year has done some brilliant rounds. Top 10 in Shanghai, top 10 in Stockholm too. Here with Priam Rose, Marcus Enning, Germany.
4 more individuals to come before the break, before the second round of the Global Champions League gets underway here in Rome. And now the quite extraordinary Marcus Enning getting started. 3 times winner of the World Cup final in Las Vegas, Kuala Lumpur and in Geneva. His wife Nadia celebrated her birthday yesterday here in Rome. Lovely place to celebrate. And he delivered a perfect opening clear round for Valkenswaard United. But Priam du Rosset for Marcus this afternoon. Clock blue cross to Tanel du Serrin for this man who's no stranger to Global Champions Tour victories. He won the Longines Grand Prix in Madrid, Preta 2 in 2016. He won twice in Vienna. The Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. Plot Blue, this horse's father, won in Vienna 2014. And again in Vienna with Comme il faut 2 years after in 2016. Priam du Rosset still looking immaculate. No, until that mistake 3 from home, I'm afraid. The top of the Bocca della Verita vertical at 155 is the mistake 3 from home. We truly have some of the greatest of all time here showing their skills this weekend in Rome. The likes of Marcus Enning, John Whittaker. It's a mouth-watering list that lines up for the penultimate leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour 2024 season here. That was the late mistake for Marcus Enning and Priam du Rosset.
Kavici's in top 10 with this ride at the 150 classes at Gothenburg, the World Cup show. They're riding in front of a home crowd. This is Kavici. Zed comes forward. Erica Schwartz-Ryan, Sweden.
Three more individuals to come before the break, before our team competition second round starts, and still only 3 clear rounds after the first 14 to jump. So about 1 in 4 only jumping clear rounds around this very demanding course of Uliano Vetsani. Our new starter, Eric Schwartz-Ryan, gets underway. This is the son of Carlo van der Helle, across to Cardento. But unusual early mistake, I'm afraid, for Eric Schwartz-Ryan, and Kavici said he's only 10 years of age. jumped in the King George V Gold Cup at Hickstead back in late July, and also part of the Swedish Nations Cup team. That's Hickstead for the team battle in the summer. America's Fast Ryan comes down the treble combination. Sweden, prior to Paris, were Olympic, European and World Team Champions all in succession. Didn't go according to plan for the team for Henrik Anker-Krona in Versailles this time, but what domination Sweden has exerted on the top of world show jumping over the last 5 or 6 years. Yes, time penalties with the unusual approach to the second. It is going to be 4 penalties this afternoon. America's Fast Ryan and Kavici Zed. I'm assuming deemed by our ground jury not to have presented at the vertical. Certainly needed to represent, but just 4 time penalties awarded to the pair for Sweden. The new starter, Victor Beddendorf, is on the course for Luxembourg. Based up in Normandy, between Deauville and Lisieux. This is a very talented young daughter of Armitage's boy cross to Canan. Self-Francais 9-year-old it is. Foxy de la Roque on the track. Victor Beddendorf had a brilliant start this year last year. First he won the Gothenburg Trophy, the Grand Prix in the Scandinavian in the Swedish West Coast city. Then he won the Grand Prix Hermès in Paris at Le Saut Hermès. So 2 huge 5-star Grand Prix wins last year for him with Mr. Tack. Foxy de la Roque is storming around the course here for Victor Beddendorf. Look at this time. He's cutting chunks out of Emanuele Camilli's leading time. He's going to be way faster. What a good round that is on a 9-year-old. Impressive. Victor Beddendorf scorches round, and at only 9 years of age, you must be mighty impressed with the great round from Victor Beddendorf to complete. Foxy de la Roque to deliver clear round number 4. 4 nations, Luxembourg, Italy, Germany and France are the clear round nations at the end of the individuals for their 2nd Global Champions League round. At the end of the individuals, ladies and gentlemen, round 2 of the Global Champions League. These are the standings. Grand Prix qualification up for grabs. Just 4 clear rounds after the 16 starters. 4 penalties for the likes of Emanuele Gaudiano. And good rounds from Jane Richard. And that one bizarre approach to the Longines vertical from America's Fast Ryan. Hassan Senturk jumped the first round. But, ladies and gentlemen, we take a short break from Rome. We'll see you again very shortly. Delighted to welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second round of the Global Champions League, the penultimate leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour in Rome for the 2024 season. The Eternal City, we are at Circus Maximus. What a sensational location, and the battle now heats up as Cannes Stars trying to close out the season's victory this afternoon. They're against the wall, the Cannes Stars, with a disappointing first round. And Riesenbeck International, who are their rivals, their challengers for the season's victory, looking to extend the battle to the last leg this year in Rabat in Morocco. These the former winners here in Rome, Madrid in motion. They lead after round one. They won here last year. London Knights the year before. Shanghai Swans won here in 2021, past Rome champions. Our crowd packed in. Our backdrop is spectacularly iconic. Circus Maximus. These were the standings coming into Rome. It's a healthy lead for the Cannes Stars, leading by a strong 32-point margin. Riesenbeck International, they won the season last year. They sit in second. They're trying to, our top four teams, avoid the quarter-final that will come at the finals in Riyadh, if they can be part of the top four teams at the end after Rabat in Morocco. We look back at the highlights of round one, Madrid in motion. The only team clear round for Madrid in motion, winners here last year. Eduardo Voras having a great Grand Prix season as well with Rockefeller, De Pleve, Bois, Margot, but he delivered the first clear for Madrid in motion. And this pair backed it up beautifully. Mike van der Vleuten, his Olympic partner, also with a great clear round. Cannes Stars, they can win the season this afternoon, but that fence, I'm afraid, was the Achilles heel in their bid to win the season this afternoon. Sophie Hinners and Iron Dame Singler and Frederica Meyer Zimmermann had to try and keep the team on four, but again the same fence strikes twice. Cannes Stars backs against the wall to try and win the championship this afternoon. Is looking a less than likely prospect. 8 penalties for the season's leaders. Doha Falcons. This man had a great win yesterday, and again Julien Coutin came back to battle. But again the combination caught him out, 2 fences down there, and 12 it is for Doha Falcons. Disappointing. Riesenbeck International needed a massive afternoon to try and deny Cannes Stars the victory in the season standings, and this the Olympic champion Christian Kuka, but again the same fence falls, bites both of the Cannes Stars combinations and then the Olympic champion. 4 penalties for Riesenbeck International. They are still poised in second. Prague Lions, Fernando Martinez Sommer comes down this very tough line. That was the error into the rated distance, sadly. Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, were complete round one with a very good 4 penalties to lie in second place behind Madrid in motion. So this is the standing after the first round. Madrid in motion deliver their first double clear of a first round of the Global Champions League to lead Prague Lions, Riesenbeck International, last year's champions, and Rome Gladiators, the home team. These teams, I'm afraid, struggling. Valkenswaard United on 16, the same score as Scandinavian Vikings at the back end of the first round of the Global Champions League here in Rome. We now take you on a whistle-stop tour of the course here at Circus Maximus of Uliano Vetsani for the second round of the Global Champions League. 465 meters is the length of the course. The track 160 now and 75 seconds the time allowed. This the opening fence, the busts, vertical 150 right by the in gate. So that is again a huge distraction factor for our horses. They wheel round to a very tall 155 tall Longines vertical. This oxer is skinny and it's very wide. It's 150 by 155, highly influential. The global champions oxer at 3. They then spin back to the first of the 2 combinations, the Roman Vases double 4A, 150 by 160 and 2 strides. 11 meters 40 it walks, down to 4B, 155 tall the vertical. And then 5 strides again is down, located by the in-gate. So again, concentration at a premium. And that is the Longines oxer, 150 by 160, fence number 5. This is a tight turn. And this line, highly influential. The Colosseum oxer, 150 by 160 at 6th, and then 6 strides. It walks down to the Global Champions League treble combination. Back end of Uliano's course in the first round, now mid-test and demanding. 7A vertical in, 155 tall, 1 stride. 8 meters 40 to another 155 tall vertical, 7B. And then 1 forward stride to the huge oxer, 150 by 160, exiting the treble. That is 7C, a lot of jumping. But then it's a sharp turn, not a lot of room, and it's a huge plank. The blue marble plank is 160 tall out after a very demanding treble. Real accuracy, delicacy, question at 8, and then down to another huge oxer. That is the Lugano oxer over water, 150 by 160, fence number 9. They then turn for home, and there's still 3 big fences on the home run. Bocca della Verita, 155 tall at 10. The Coins oxers caught out quite a few. The penultimate at 150 by 160. And then down to the Aqueduct vertical. That is massive. Beige in colour. Again by the other far end of the arena. That is tall, and it's an ominous finish at 160. Fence number 12 is the last fence of the second round of the Global Champions League here. Last. That man, what a test of Uliano Vezzani here in the Italian capital. A lot of discussion. Could Can Stars somehow topple Riesenbeck United? They need to just finish ahead of Riesenbeck to guarantee a season victory. But disappointing from Can Stars in the first round. Their back is against the wall. So we go in reverse order, and Mexico Amigos will start us into action, carrying 20 from the first round. Then it is Istanbul Warriors. That is going to be Andreas Scope, subs in Billy Matador, and Zasha Nigod-Lil's got a new horse in Primavera. John Whitaker brings in Equine America Unique de Frankfurt, and he'll be joined by Edwina Tops Alexander. Scandinavian Vikings, same riders, different horses for the Scandinavian Vikings. And then Monaco Aces, Gregory Cotard brings in a new ride, Gamble Gord's Corolla, and Edouard Levy brings Catcher Mail back for the second round as well. Then comes Shanghai Swans, sitting with a very handy 12 penalties. Christian Alman makes a substitution, as does Max Kuna. And then Dubai du Cèdre, fresh back from the Paris Olympics, 4th in the games. New ride for Julien Paillard alongside Antoine Herman. And then the fearsome winner of yesterday's 5-star Blood Diamant Dupont comes in for Doha Falcons. And Dexter Fontenay stays for Simon de Lestre. So Hinners and Katrin Eckermann both make substitutions for round 2 as Can Stars try and do the unthinkable to win the season in this second round. It's a tall order. New York Empire stays with David Ville alongside Dennis Lynch. And Carl Tim brings back Kandar Mail, and Nina Malave has a new ride in Dynasty de Beaufort for the Rome Gladiators. Riesenbeck International brings Zinedine, again Olympic ride for Philip Weishaupt, and a new ride for Christian Kukuk in Just Be Gentle. And new horses again for Prague Lions. 13th of our teams, the penultimate team. And again, both of the horses for Madrid in motion. Our leaders after the first round are different. Elvica will come in, and the legendary 19-year-old Rockefeller de Pleville Bois Margot will be the ride for Eduardo Alvarez Asnar. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the second round of the Global Champions League here, penultimate leg of the season. Welcome to the mighty Italian capital that is Rome. we go in reverse order from the first round standings. So Mexico Amigos is our back markers. Same score as Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem, but a slower aggregate time. Changes to the team because Giacomo Cassadei has a different horse, and Nadia Peter-Steiner comes into the team. Francesco Turturiello is on the bench for the second round. This lady for Switzerland, based at Auxerre, up in the north of France, between Paris and Dijon. Nice Van der Sorgfleet, a long-time partner of the Olympic champion Christian Kukuk. New ride for Nadia Peter-Steiner. Katerina, Peter Nadia's mother, met in the shuttle yesterday. Gave me the lowdown on her daughter. No trainer at home. She does all of her work alone, which is a bold move at top-level show jumping. Now comes down to this very chunky line. 6-7 ABC. Teeth of the course of Ileana Vetsani. Nadia Peter-Steiner sees a beautiful peach of a stride. She plucks out of thin air back to the massive blue marble plank at 160 tall. 2 160 tall verticals out on Ileana's course. The last fence being one of those max height verticals, and this is a great round. It's a new ride, and that is a very good round to get the Mexico Amigos off to a perfect start. Clear round it is. That is a very good round to start the second round of the Global Champions League here in the Italian capital. Clear round for Nadia Peter-Steiner and nice Van der Sorgfleet.
Change horses back here in round number 2. He's jumping in rounds for the team this year. Could he do it again here in Rome? Riding above air, Chablis, Giacomo Cassadei. Remember, score of 20 from the first round. Brilliant there from Nadia Peter-Steiner.
Mexico Amigos looking to put that disappointing 20 in the first round quickly to bed with a quick ascendancy up the leaderboard in this second round. Giacomo Cassadei to try and back up the great clear of Nadia Peter-Steiner. 21 years of age, only precious young talent. Graduate of 7 youth Europeans, and he was the Youth Olympic champion in Buenos Aires in 2018. Individual gold and team silver. Marbella du Chablis, his ride in this second round. Substitutes his horse. Corradina, first round horse, substituted by Marbella. She jumped in the Agri Nations Cup. Great Britain at Hickstead in the summer Royal International Horse Show. Giacomo Cassadei is purring mid-course, out over the top of the blue marble plank at 8, jumping immaculately. Turns now for home. There will be a massive home roar. I'm afraid it's a home sigh as he just flicks the top of the Liverpool Bocca della Verita. It's a really unlucky late mistake because Mexico Amigos came to battle with the gloves off and really punching for 2 clear rounds, but a late mistake for Giacomo Cassadei is unjust after a very good round from the young Italian. He has 4. This was the late error for Marbella du Chablis.
The Italian Giacomo Cassadei goes on to finish on 4 penalties. They take the Mexico Amigos to 24 overall. This is what it looks like and how we start Global Champions League round 2 this afternoon. Some very big moments coming up later on today with the Cannes Stars still to come, Razorback International still to come, and the Prague Lions, the best of those top 4 contending teams, in control of that GCL Super Cup semi-final spot for now. No drop scores, everything will count from round round one into round two now. Sign up for a GCTV Live Pass. Come and join us for the rest of the action here, live from Rome. This is stage 14 of the Global Champions League. The Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem Equestrian Team, are next in the ring.